The silence in the orbital museum was almost sacred. Floating 300 kilometers above Earth, the Terran Heritage Station housed the galaxy's most impressive collection of ancient warships and forgotten technologies. Tourists from dozens of species wandered through the vast chambers, their voices echoing softly as they marveled at relics from wars that ended centuries ago. But none of them paid much attention to the massive shadow that dominated the central hall. Captain Zara Mitchell stood before the enormous vessel, her reflection caught in its darkened hull. The ship was a monster of metal and carbon fiber, stretching nearly 2 kilometers from bow to stern. Its name was barely visible on the side: Prometheus Unbound. Most visitors assumed it was just another display piece, a reminder of humanity's brief but violent entry into galactic politics. They were wrong. "Still can't believe they stuck us with museum duty," muttered Tommy Chen, the station's chief engineer. He approached Zara with a steaming cup of coffee in each hand, offering one to her. 3 years of advanced tactical training, and here we are babysitting dusty old ships. Zara accepted the coffee gratefully. "Maybe that's exactly where we need to be right now." Her voice carried a weight that made Tommy look at her more carefully. She had been acting strange all week, spending hours staring at the Prometheus like she was waiting for something. "You've been getting those classified briefings again, haven't you?" Tommy asked, keeping his voice low. As the station's only military personnel, they both held security clearances that most museum staff didn't know about. Zara nodded slowly. "The outer colonies have gone dark, all of them. Kepler Station, New Geneva, the mining outposts around Proxima. Complete communications. Blackout for the past 72 hours. Tommy felt his stomach drop. Equipment failure? Unlikely. Not all at once. Zara turned to face him fully. "Intelligence suggests we're looking at a coordinated attack, something big enough to take out our early warning systems before we even knew what hit us." The implications sank in quickly. Earth's outer colonies served as humanity's first line of defense, a network of stations and settlements that would spot any incoming threat long before it reached the inner system. If they were all offline. "How long do we have?" Tommy asked. "Unknown. Could be days, could be hours." Zara's eyes returned to the ancient warship. "Admiral Blackwood thinks I'm crazy, but I've been going through the Prometheus's specifications. This ship was never meant to be a museum piece, Tommy. It was meant to be humanity's ace in the hole." Tommy laughed nervously. "Zara, that thing hasn't been operational in over 200 years. Half the technology in there is theoretical at best. The other half is so classified that even the engineers who built it didn't know how it worked." "Exactly." Zara's voice was steady, determined. "Which means whoever's coming won't know how it works either." They stood in comfortable silence for a moment, both lost in thought. The museum's artificial gravity hummed quietly around them, and somewhere in the distance, a group of Centaurian children giggled at a holographic display showing ancient Earth battles. Tommy finished his coffee and cleared his throat. "Okay, let's say you're right. Let's say someone is coming, and let's say this old bucket of bolts could actually help. How exactly do you propose we get it running? The reactor's been cold for 2 centuries. The weapon systems are sealed behind quantum locks that require authorization codes from officers who died before my grandmother was born." Zara smiled for the first time in days. "That's where you're wrong, my friend." She pulled out a small data pad and showed him a series of command codes. "I've been doing some research, deep research. It turns out the Prometheus was never fully decommissioned. It was placed in standby mode, waiting for what the designers called a continuity protocol." "Which means what, exactly?" "It means the ship can be reactivated by any ranking military officer in the event of an existential threat to humanity." Zara's eyes gleamed with something between excitement and terror. "Tommy, I think we're about to find out what our ancestors really built." Before Tommy could respond, the museum's emergency lighting system activated. Red warning lights bathed the central hall as an automated voice echoed through the station. "Attention all personnel. This is Admiral Blackwood speaking. We have confirmed hostile contact in the outer system. All military personnel report to stations immediately. This is not a drill." Zara and Tommy looked at each other, then at the massive warship looming above them. In the red emergency lighting, it almost seemed to be stirring, like some ancient beast waking from a long sleep. "Well," Tommy said quietly, "I guess it's time to find out if you're right." They moved quickly toward the ship's main access hatch. The museum's automated systems had already begun sealing off sections and evacuating civilian personnel, but the central hall remained accessible. Zara's command codes worked on the first try, and the hatch opened with a soft hiss that seemed to echo through the centuries. The interior of the Prometheus was unlike anything Tommy had ever seen. The corridors were wide and tall, designed for humans but somehow feeling alien after so many years of disuse. Emergency lighting strips glowed faintly along the walls, responding to their presence with an intelligence that seemed almost organic. "The ship's biosensors are still active," Zara noted, checking her scanner. "It's been monitoring the station all these years, learning, adapting. The AI core shows signs of continuous low-level activity." They made their way through the ship's maze-like interior, following memory maps that Zara had studied obsessively over the past week. The Prometheus was built like a city, with multiple decks, residential areas, manufacturing bays, and research laboratories. But at its heart was something that made both of them stop in their tracks. The command center was a vast sphere lined with holographic displays and control interfaces. At the center stood a single chair, clearly designed for a human commander, surrounded by a complex array of neural interface equipment. "My God," Tommy whispered. "It's a direct neural link. The captain doesn't just command this ship, he becomes part of it." Zara nodded grimly. The ultimate fusion of human intuition and artificial intelligence. No wonder they kept it classified. She approached the command chair carefully, running her hands along its smooth surface. "Tommy, I need you to get to the engineering section. If I'm going to link with this thing, you need to make sure the power systems can handle the startup sequence." "Zara, wait." Tommy grabbed her arm. "We don't know what this will do to you. The neural interface technology from that era was experimental. At best, it could kill you or worse." Zara looked at him with a sad smile. "Tommy, if those outer colonies are really gone, then Earth is next. How many people live on this planet now? 8 billion? 9? If there's even a chance that this ship can make a difference." She trailed off, but her meaning was clear. Tommy nodded reluctantly. "Okay, but I'm monitoring your vital signs from engineering. The moment something goes wrong, I'm pulling you out." "Fair enough." Zara settled into the command chair, and immediately the ship around them began to change. Lights came on throughout the command center, displays activated, and a low harmonic tone filled the air. "Tommy, go. I can feel the ship responding already." As Tommy ran toward the engineering section, he could hear Zara's voice echoing through the ship's communication system. But it sounded different somehow. Older, deeper, as if she were speaking with the combined voices of every human who had ever commanded a starship. "Prometheus Unbound, this is Captain Zara Mitchell, acting under Continuity Protocol Authorization. Ship status report." The response came not from the ship's speakers, but from everywhere at once, as if the vessel itself were speaking. "Captain Mitchell, welcome aboard. I have been waiting for you. Ship status, all systems operational and ready for combat. Threat assessment, multiple hostile contacts detected in outer system. Classification unknown. Estimated time to Earth, orbit, 6 hours, 37 minutes. Zara felt the ship's consciousness merge with her own, and suddenly, she could see everything. The entire solar system spread out before her like a vast tactical display. She could see the approaching alien fleet, their ships moving in perfect formation toward Earth. She could see the orbital defense platforms powering up their weapons, preparing for a battle they couldn't possibly win. And she could see something else, something that made her smile with grim satisfaction. "Prometheus, are the special weapon systems still functional?" "Affirmative, Captain. All exotic matter containment fields are stable. Quantum displacement torpedoes are loaded and ready. Temporal disruption field generators are operational." "Good. Tommy, are you reading this?" Tommy's voice crackled through. "The comm system from engineering. Zara, the power readings I'm seeing here don't make sense. This ship is generating more energy than should be physically possible. What exactly are we dealing with? The future, Tommy. Or at least, what our ancestors thought the future should look like. Zara's voice carried a new confidence as she felt the ship's systems coming fully online. How long until the aliens reach Earth? Prometheus calculates 5 hours, 43 minutes until hostile contact with Earth's orbital defenses. Then, we'd better get moving. Tommy, strap yourself in. We're about to show the galaxy what humanity is really capable of. The ancient warship began to move, sliding out of its display cradle with impossible grace. Museum alarms wailed as the Prometheus Unbound emerged from the heritage station like a sleeping giant, awakening from a long dream. And in the depths of space, something very old and very dangerous began to stir, ready to remind the universe why humanity had survived every challenge thrown at it. The real battle was about to begin. The Prometheus Unbound cut through space like a blade through silk, its ancient engines humming with power that defied modern understanding. Captain Zara Mitchell felt the ship's consciousness flowing through her mind, sharing centuries of accumulated knowledge and tactical experience. Through the neural link, she wasn't just commanding the vessel. She had become it. Tommy, how are the power levels holding up? Zara's voice echoed through the ship's corridors, carrying an otherworldly resonance that made the engineer pause. In his work, everything's stable, but Zara, these readings are impossible, Tommy replied from the engineering bay, his hands dancing across holographic displays that showed energy patterns beyond current human science. The reactor isn't just generating power, it's pulling energy from somewhere else entirely. It's like the ship is tapping into the quantum foam itself. Through the ship's sensors, Zara could see the alien fleet approaching Earth's outer defensive perimeter. 67 vessels of unknown design, their hulls gleaming with an oily darkness that seemed to absorb light. They moved in perfect formation, their weapons already charging for the assault on humanity's homeworld. Prometheus, give me a tactical analysis of the hostile fleet, Zara commanded. The ship's artificial intelligence responded immediately, its voice a harmonious blend of human intuition and mechanical precision. Fleet composition, 67. Vessels of Vextari origin. Classification, heavy cruisers and battleships. Estimated crew complement, 400,000 hostiles. Weapons, plasma cascade cannons, quantum disruptors, neural suppression fields. Vextari? Zara had never heard of them, but the ship's database immediately filled in the gaps. Images flashed through her consciousness, a reptilian species that had conquered dozens of worlds, enslaving or exterminating entire civilizations. They were methodical, ruthless, and had never encountered a species they couldn't defeat. Until now. Tommy, I'm reading something strange about their approach vector, Zara said, studying the tactical display. They're not just attacking Earth, they're positioning themselves to cut off all escape routes. This isn't just an invasion, it's genocide. Tommy's face appeared on the command center's main screen, his expression grim. Then we'd better make this count. Zara, I'm seeing weapon systems online that aren't in any manual I've ever read. What exactly is this ship capable of? Before Zara could answer, the ship's communication array crackled to life. A harsh, guttural voice filled the command center, speaking in perfect human English. Primitive vessel, you will surrender immediately. I am Commander Vextar of the Hegemony Fleet. Your species has been marked for termination. Comply, and your death will be swift. On the main screen, the alien commander's image materialized, a towering reptilian figure with obsidian black scales and eyes like burning coals. His uniform was adorned with the bones of conquered enemies, and his mouth, curved in what might have been a smile if it weren't so terrifying. Your planet's defenses are pathetic, Vextar continued. Your orbital stations will fall within minutes. Your ground forces are already being neutralized by our advanced scouts. There is no hope for your kind. Zara felt the ship's anger flowing. Through the neural link, not just artificial intelligence but genuine emotion. The Prometheus had been built to protect humanity, and it took that purpose very seriously. Commander Vextar, Zara replied, her voice carrying the combined authority of the ship's AI and her own military training. I am Captain Zara Mitchell of the Prometheus Unbound. You have made 2 critical errors in your assessment. The alien commander's expression shifted to one of amusement. A single ancient vessel challenges my entire fleet? Your species' capacity for self-delusion is remarkable. First error, Zara continued calmly. You assumed this was an ancient vessel. The Prometheus represents technology your species has never encountered. Second error, you assumed you were fighting just one ship. As she spoke, the Prometheus began to change. Sections of the hull opened to reveal weapon systems that had been hidden for centuries. But more impressive was what happened next. The ship began to replicate itself. Quantum displacement manufacturing. Tommy breathed from engineering. The ship is using localized space-time distortions to create copies of itself from pure energy. How is this possible? Human ingenuity, Zara replied with grim satisfaction. Our ancestors built this ship to face impossible odds. Tommy, how many copies can we sustain? The power draw is enormous, but 12. We can maintain 12 fully functional duplicates for approximately 30 minutes. Commander Vextar's confident expression faltered as his sensors detected the fleet of identical ships materializing around the Prometheus. Each duplicate was perfect down to the molecular level, equipped with the same impossible weapons and commanded by a fragment of the original ship's AI. Impossible, the alien commander snarled. This violates every known law of physics. Human physics, Zara corrected. We tend to rewrite the rules when our survival is at stake. The Vexitari fleet opened fire, their plasma cannons and quantum disruptors unleashing enough energy to crack a moon. But the Prometheus fleet didn't even try to dodge. Instead, they activated their temporal disruption fields. The alien weapons simply stopped working. Not destroyed, not deflected. They ceased to function on a fundamental level as the Prometheus ships created localized bubbles where the laws of causality operated differently. What are you? Vexitar demanded, his voice now tinged with something that might have been fear. We're human, Zara replied simply, and we don't give up. The Prometheus fleet moved as one, their exotic matter weapons charging with a sound like reality itself groaning under the strain. Tommy monitored the power systems, amazed at what he was witnessing. Zara, the weapon systems are drawing power from parallel dimensions. The ship isn't just using our universe's energy. It's borrowing from infinite alternate realities where humanity developed different technologies. Fire, Zara commanded. The quantum displacement torpedoes launched from all 13 ships simultaneously, but they didn't travel through normal space. Instead, they phased in and out of reality, bypassing the Vextari shields entirely and striking the alien vessels from within. The results were spectacular. Alien ships simply ceased to exist, not destroyed but removed from reality itself. In less than 60 seconds, the Vextari fleet was reduced from 67 vessels to 30, then to 15, then to just Commander Vextar's flagship. This is impossible, the alien commander repeated, his voice breaking. No species has ever. We are the hegemony. We have conquered 1,000 worlds, and now you've met humanity, Zara replied. Tommy, are you seeing this? The ship's learning from each engagement, adapting its weapons in real time. The AI is incorporating Vextari technology into our systems, Tommy reported, his voice filled with wonder. It's not just defeating them, it's absorbing their knowledge, making us stronger with every victory. Commander Vextar's flagship tried to retreat, but the Prometheus fleet surrounded it effortlessly. The temporal disruption fields prevented the alien ship from entering hyperspace, trapping it in normal space where human weapons could reach it. I offer you the same choice you offered Earth, Zara said, her voice carrying across the void. Surrender, and your death will be swift. Never, Vextar snarled. The hegemony will send more fleets, hundreds of them. You cannot stand against the combined might of our empire. Zara smiled, feeling the ship's vast intelligence calculating possibilities across multiple timelines. Actually, we can, Prometheus, show him. The main screen filled with images from across the galaxy, Vextari worlds in chaos as their fleets simply vanished. Orbital defenses powered down, and communication networks went dark. The Prometheus hadn't just been fighting one battle, through quantum entanglement. It had been simultaneously engaging Vextari forces across dozens of star systems. "Your empire is finished," Zara said quietly. "Your fleets are gone, your worlds are defenseless, and your people are free to choose their own destiny for the first time in centuries." Commander Vextar stared at the displays in disbelief. How? How is one ship capable of such destruction? "Because it's not just one ship," Tommy said, his voice filled with pride. "It's humanity's promise to itself. No matter what comes, no matter how impossible the odds, we survive. We adapt. We overcome." The alien commander's flagship powered down its weapons in defeat through the neural link. Zara could feel the Prometheus calculating the next phase of its mission. Not just defending Earth, but spreading throughout the galaxy to ensure that no other species would ever again face the threat of extinction at alien hands. "Tommy, prepare the replication protocols for full deployment," Zara commanded. "It's time to show the galaxy that humanity is no longer just another species struggling to survive." "How many ships?" Tommy asked. Zara smiled as she felt the vast intelligence of the Prometheus touching her mind, showing her visions of a future where human vessels patrolled every star system, protecting the innocent and ensuring that freedom remained more than just a dream. "All of them," she replied. "Every ship we need to make sure this never happens again." As the Prometheus fleet began to spread across the galaxy, humanity stepped into its role as protector of the innocent and guardian of freedom. The aliens had laughed at the dead warship until it turned its guns on them. They weren't laughing anymore, and they never would again.